The movie industry is giving us something new all the time. Good films, bad films, horrors, thrillers, comedies, and romances. So it is understandable that sometimes we don't come across or even notice some of them. So here we want to present the absolutely must-see. Those that were well written and well directed, that should be seen by everyone as they bring something new, something extraordinary, or something to talk about. These films deal with different subjects, bring up some issues, create emotions, leave us thinking. You don't have to love it, but you should watch it and have your own opinion. Here is the list of movies everyone must see in their life. Snowpiercer. This film, which we would probably put on the shelf with the tag science fiction with a lot of action, is the first made in English by the director Bong Joon-ho. The whole story takes place in an unreal, apocalyptic world where the whole land is covered with ice and snow. This itself builds up the atmosphere of fear, darkness, and cold. All of the people who live there lead their life on the board of a train which is dashing through the lands. But the world they have created is not a simply or idyllic one. It is dark, divided, and rather gloomy, with the front and the back, literally, and in the terms of society. Those who are not lucky enough stay at the back and become slaves to the others. Quite a well-known pattern, isn't it? And although, as a movie, the picture should entertain the viewers, it also gives them a lot to think about. The creators are showing a rebellious uprising whose leader, Curtis, wants to fight with the existing situation. However, the whole outcome of it is not that comforting at all. The question is, what next? How will the people who have been enslaved for such a long time behave when they get to the top of the society? Will the situation really change? Will it bring a lot of good? Or will it just change the leader, not the mechanism? The idea that the whole system is ill and just repeats patterns can be quite depressing and disturbing, yet that point of view is worth considering and talking about. Great creations of Chris Evans and Tilda Swinton are another asset to the movie. Hey, if you want to be well informed when it comes to the movies, subscribe to our channel and like it, just to make sure you will not miss any of our other videos and ideas. Babadook. An absolute classic on our list is the thriller and horror, Babadook. It is a story about a children's book that hides a demon, a really bad one. One day a single mother, Amelia, finds it in her house and starts reading with her son, Samuel. Since the relationship is difficult and takes a lot of hard work from the mother's side, she hardly notices changes that appear in the 7-year-old after getting familiar with Babadook. And the plans of the creature are fearful and deadly for both of them. The story brings goosebumps, but there is much more than just the horrific plot we should follow, and that has become a part of modern culture during the years. It shows some not very nice or pretty aspects of motherhood, difficult connections and relations in families. It strongly touches the problem of a mother who loves and hates her son at the same time. Jennifer Kent, who has written and directed the film, shows the struggle of parenthood, dealing with problems that are not very comfortable to face. Does the mother eventually fight for her child? Well, probably you already know the answer, but watch and see for yourself. It will surely scare you, as some evil spirits and creepy creatures are present all around, trying to get to the main characters. Zodiac. We are pretty sure many of you have heard of the terrible crimes that happened in California in the 60s and 70s. It is one of the cases that has never been solved and has been intriguing generations ever since. The never-found murderer gave himself the name of Zodiac and became a true mystery in the history of the US. Along the years, people were getting closer and further from the answers, yet not much is known for sure. Therefore, David Fincher, the director of the movie, decided to look closer into the matter, and this is how the story of 3 men, a detective, a reporter, and a cartoonist came alive in Zodiac, the film. Great creations of Mark Ruffalo, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Robert Downey Jr. make it even more attractive. Yet we have to bear in mind that this mystery will never get a solution, and what comes next, happy ending. It is showing the path, the exhausting way of looking for small hints and traces from the past, being persistent and devoting one's life to the case. Furthermore, it also shows the feeling of disappointment, doubt, and maybe even at some point acceptance, understanding of the fact that some mysteries will never find their solution.
You got 4 crime scenes, not a single usable print. You can't think of this case in normal police terms.
Whiplash. The next film tells the story of chasing one's dreams, dedication, and sometimes even obsession, all surrounded with a great deal of good jazz music. Ladies and gentlemen, we present Whiplash, directed by Damien Chazelle, with outstanding creations of Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons. A young drummer who is really good and ambitious in what he does wants to join a band. But it is not just any band, it is the best one, led by a conductor named Terrence, incredibly demanding, hot-headed and conceited person. The young musician keeps trying to impress him, fighting for his place. However, somewhere along the way the viewers start asking themselves the question about his own identity in life, about dedicating one's whole passion in doing to only one thing and losing many others along the way. Is it worth it? Seems to be the question that occurs now and then. Great minds and great expectations can be destructive and alienating. How big is the price of success, and how far are we able to go in order to get it? Get Out. A great example of a film that keeps the viewers on the edge of their seats from the first moment. It seems to be quite a common story, dealing with the problem of a black guy dating a white woman, a story often repeated in different movies and in different ways. However, this time, Chris Washington, a black photographer, played by Daniel Kaluuya, was an impression that everything goes well with his girlfriend, played by Allison Williams. Meeting parents is never an easy task, whereas here everyone from the girl's side tend to be really friendly. But that friendly approach becomes more and more creepy, the questions more and more intense, and see for yourself how far did the story go. The writer and director of the film is Jordan Peele, and thanks to this picture he obtained a great box office success and was pretty well taken by the critics. He told a story that has been present in the American society for years, in a new way, making people wonder what really is underneath some nice smiles and polite conversations. The tension is growing with every minute, and that is for sure a great value of that film. The Invitation. That movie is next in line, as it shows a little bit of attention visible in the previously mentioned Get Out. It is a story of a party, friendly meeting of people who used to be friends. The actor Logan Marshall Green plays the role of Will, a divorced man invited to this gathering by his ex-wife. In that role we can watch Tammy Blanchard. Even though everything seems to be fun and entertaining, Will can feel that something is not right and somehow is trying to persuade the others. His former wife is talking about a cult she has joined. The atmosphere is getting thicker. The house brings back painful memories of a tragedy that has taken place in it. Is there anything else that can go wrong? Wait until the last shot and you will see. Once again, it is a film that triggers some thoughts connected with social norms and the way we see each other in different situations. The way we deal with our problems and demons of the past. It shows how our experience influence our future and our choices. This is surely not an easy reflection, but presented in such an entertaining way that is worth watching.
You think we're crazy?
I never said that.
It's okay. I'm not offended. A lot of people think we're crazy.
Looper, science fiction and time travels. What can look like an overused idea for a film is actually a great story written and directed by Rian Johnson. Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays a guy named Joe, whose job is to eliminate the criminals sent from 2074 to 2044. But instead of preventing the crimes, the whole situation brings chaos and even more violence to the world. The picture shows consequences of that solution when Joe comes to the point when he has to kill the older version of himself, played by Bruce Willis. The game begins, and we are witnessing the spiral of violence that makes the audience wonder if this way of solving problems can bring any good to the society. A solution which seemed to be working at the beginning starts to backfire with double force, and the main character can easily notice that his actions have big consequences for others, as they brought something extraordinary for himself. Now, escaping from his own young self or chasing his own older self, he has the time to think that solution through, accompanied by an attentive viewer.
You done all this already? As me?
I don't want to talk about time travel. Because if we start talking about it, then we're going to be here all day talking about it, making diagrams with straws.
Ex Machina. There is no doubt that the world of the future is strongly connected with robots and machines' presence in our lives. But how that connection is going to look like depends strongly on us. New solutions and inventions can make people's lives easier, but at the same time can create a lot of new problems and questions. This is the issue presented in the film by Alex Garland called Ex Machina. It shows a situation when Caleb, a young programmer, gets the chance to work with a computer genius and inventor Nathan. He has no idea how that is going to change his life, as well as his approach technique. At Nathan's, he meets Ava, a robot with artificial intelligence. Step by step he seems to be falling in love with her, whereas his technical mind goes through it with difficulty. All of that under the attentive eye of Nathan, who tends to be someone like a mad inventor with godlike aspirations. For sure, that movie will make people stop and think for a moment. Surveillance, control, playing with emotions. However, it is not only about the idea of robots in our future. Underneath, there is the issue of women's role and how they are being treated by men, brought to the role of an object, sometimes even abused. The idea not very popular and extremely difficult to deal with. We can call it eye-opening. Hey, you still there? Well, since you made it this far, here are all the shoutouts we promised everyone that commented on our previous video. If you want to be shouted out in our next upcoming video, as well as the ones prior, just make sure you have subscribed to our channel and like this video. What's more, leave a comment that says, "It's my lucky day."